Hello, welcome back. Today we are going to be painting Black Templar. Now, I base coated him with a bed in black, and currently I just mixed a bed in black with Markrad blue, and yeah. So what we're going to be doing is I mixed a bed in black with this, 2 parts of bed in black, 1 part this, and then I highlighted all these areas on the top. And then we're doing the sub-assembly again. So here's a Black Templar guy, custom everything. Okay, so let's base coat the hoodie, I forget what this called, the crotch protector. I'm just gonna call it that. The shoulder pads, which we've already got this one, and I'll be right back. We're gonna base coat it with brown. Okay, sorry, I just had to move my camera setup so you can see it easier. Okay, we're gonna take about this much brown. And we're just gonna base coat it. Now you might say, hey, their shoulder pads are white. Well, I'm imagining this guy to be really, really dirty, so we're gonna put it up to a khaki. And not for white. And this is also for beginners. Just like my last video, this is for beginners. And we are just painting the hoodie brown. Okay, then next we're gonna get the knee things. The knee circles, I don't know what they're called. Now, you do want to thin your paints in this video. Just about a brush full. Okay? Now, it's okay if you make mistakes. You can just go over with a black. Any type of black, it will just look natural with any kind of black. Then this part of the gun is also going to be khaki with checker marks. So let's get this base coated too. Now, as you notice, this guy doesn't have an Aquila. I did that for a reason. Because Aquilas are super hard to paint. And let's do this little circle on the back of his backpack thing. Okay, there we go. Then we got all that base coated. If any of it rubbed off, that's okay. Just go back over it. Okay, let's wait for that to dry. Okay, so it's all dry. Now, let's get back. So you want some of this for your choice, either the shoulder pads, like the armor stuff, or the cloth. I think I might do it with the, hold on. Let's see what this guy has. No, not him. Yeah, I guess I'll use this for the armor. So what you want to do is 50-50 mixture. So you get this kind of color. Then you just kind of want to highlight. Okay, there we go. Just get this base coated.
Why'd you ask if I was home?
And then once you get that base coated, then we can move on to the next part. Get some more of this. So about 50-60. No, not 50-60. That doesn't even make sense. So about this much to this much. So about 2 parts and 1 part. And then you do want to thin this down with about a brush full. Just get all the raised edges that are more likely to be in the light. That are more likely to be in the light. Like this. Now, we will paint the cloth with a different color. Different type of color, same process. If you want them to be the exact same, then go ahead. Cloth and armor are just always different. They never get the same pigment, and in real life at least. And then they always just, so like they never look like this. They never look uniformed. Never. Never. They need to look different from each other. Okay? Then we're gonna get even more of this. We're literally gonna highlight really high up. And then we're just gonna mix it in. We're gonna do extreme highlights. Now, if it doesn't blend well, that's okay. If it doesn't blend well, then we can just go over with the glaze later. Glazes are not that hard. we literally just thin down the paint until it's see-through. So that's literally just what a glaze is. Super easy, super good, and it makes the models look amazing. So the next, what we're gonna do is the cloth. Actually, no, let's keep on going with the highlight. Let's keep on going. Let's see how far we can go. Okay, I think we might do 2 more highlights. Just 2 more. And I sound like Bob Ross. So what I did was I cleaned up all the miniature part, and I think I finished. Yeah. Let me get a pen, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what we're gonna do is we are just gonna mark out even lines. Okay, like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make them into checkers.
Disconnect from my speaker. Please.
And so the next, once we do that, we just gotta wait for the ink to dry. Just blow on it with hot breath, and then we're gonna get some red and yellow. Any red and yellow will work. Now we're not gonna highlight the red and yellow. Make a very nice checkered pattern. That's what happens when you don't let the ink dry. So yeah, you have to let the ink dry. If not, just wipe it off. Like that. And then boom, it's dry. Make sure you make an even checkered pattern. Something like that. It's not my best, but it's really good so far. And then you want to get your yellow. Mix in a little bit of red so it looks a little dirty. That's too much red, so get, I'd say about 3 parts yellow, half part red. So it looks like this mustardy color. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of like stipple it on. Just make sure not to go overboard. Like that. There. Perfect. And then we will just clean up the little bits. Now, it's okay if the ink on the pen still gets it all on there and bleeds through. That's okay. It'll just look like weathering. So what you want to get now is get your black. Abaddon black or chaos black, any black you have. Preferably matte black because gloss black does not look good. Okay, then once you clean that all up, just clean your brush. I forgot to tell you that. You have to clean your brush every time you switch colors. Every single time. You might say, oh no, I don't need to. You need to, okay? You need to. And then just stipple on barely amount of black. So it looks like that. Boom. Really, really good so far. Okay, now let's get to the cloth. You might say, oh, and what about that side? That's meant to stay there because no one's currently taking off the arm and looking back there. Okay? No one will. It's going to go on a diorama. No one really cares. Okay? So let's get our black wash. No, actually, yeah, black wash. Homemade black wash. Let's just put it all over the model. All over. An all over wash. Okay, once you get that done, just sit it down and let it dry. Hold on, let me see what it'll look better than. Of course, it will always look better than this guy. This guy just sucks. My least favorite one. He just sucks in general. I mean, it's a really, really cool character. I might have to need to repaint it. I will definitely need to repaint it. It's gonna still look better than this, though. It's gonna look way better than this. Okay? Basically, we're gonna make it all look good. Not just the red and the shoulder pads. No, it's all gonna look good. Okay? All of it. And you need to use brushes, of course. So, let's talk about brushes while this guy dries. So, what you need for a brush is a small brush. Not super small, though. Just about this big. It should be as long as your fingernail. If it was cut all the way down, like mine are. It's super hard to paint with long nails. So yeah, it should be about this long. So it can actually store the paint in the brush. It shouldn't be super, super small. And it needs a fine point. It needs a fine point, okay? It needs an absolute fine point. So once you get that down, then it's much, much easier to paint this guy. Okay? So then what we're gonna do next is we are gonna paint the cloth. So we're gonna get these two colors. And then, what other color should we use? How about a brown? A brown. So we're gonna use these three colors. Okay. So we're just gonna take about this much brown. Put a little bit on this on your paint palette. I'm almost completely out, so that's not good. Okay. About 2 parts this, 1 part brown. Okay. Then we are just gonna paint all these lines. And then we're gonna also edge highlight, kind of. Okay? Make sure you leave some recesses to stay brown. That will be important later. Okay, looks good so far. Now let's get the hoodie done. Actually, I think you might only need 2 colors. Okay, then what you want to do with the bottom part is you want to kind of get as much paint off the brush as you want. As you can, I mean. Then just kind of dry brush it in a way. Stipple, dry brush, a mixture of the two. Then boom. That's it for the cloth. Unless you want to do something really detailed, which I'm going to do. I'm going to get some rathbone, mix it up, because this stuff separates all the time. Just get a little bit, put some on your fingernail, and then just paint the edges. Okay, once you get all that done, on the hoodie, then you can move back down to the tabard. I think that's what it's called. Maybe the skirt thing, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it tabard. Just paint all the edges. Okay, then we are done with that. This would officially be tabletop ready. But we're not gonna just do tabletop ready. We're gonna get better. And the goal of painting miniatures is to get better and better. If you don't like the part of Warhammer where you just paint miniatures, then this hobby is not for you. Get a game that does not require painted miniatures, okay? Or just play Tabletop Simulator. Because you will get criticized for not having amazingly painted miniatures. So, and I don't even play the game. I just like painting the miniatures and listening to the lore. So yeah. Then we are about done with that. Okay. So now we're gonna get the red. So what we want is red and brown. Okay. So let's get some red. About this much. Just put it on a dry spot on your palette. Then mix some brown in it. Just mix a little. Okay. And what you're gonna do is you're just gently, just ever so gently, get the edge of the shoulder pad. Okay. Then continue all the way around, like that. Now leave this top part undone. Okay, that will matter. And also, if you just want to add some red accents over the model, like I do, go ahead and do it. You won't regret it. Actually, you might. I take that back. You might regret it. Okay. So then we're just gonna get this part 2. And we're just gonna do the edge. Be very careful. It's very hard to clean up if you mess up. So be as careful as possible. Okay? Just as careful as possible. If you do mess up, quickly clean off your brush and then just clean it up. Like that. Then just continue where you left off. Okay, then that is it for all the red and stuff. Well, that's technically not it. So just get regular red. Just get a little on your brush, okay? Then just lightly tap the edges of this part right here. Just lightly tap the edges. Okay. Then once you get that part down, just kind of do the edge of this all on the top where the light would hit it. Then once you do that, you're good. Okay, now I'm not completely done yet because I need to get this one done. Okay. Boom. That is done. Looks really nice now, doesn't it? Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna touch up the yellow on this. Okay, so just get the ends of the yellow. Just get so it like pops out more than the red. Boom, that's almost done. We are almost done. We're like halfway there. Okay, so now I'm gonna teach you guys how to paint a leather. Get some brown. About this much. Okay, just go over the thing right here. Just go over all of it. Be very careful. Okay, then once you get that down, get some of this and just paint the edges of it. Just the edges. Boom. And then you want to just do a little bit of that. Then you want to get some more on your paintbrush. Just about that much. Then just do a little line going across. Just a happy little line. I was trying to sound like Bob Ross there, right there. I was doing it on purpose. Okay. I'd say that's about it for today, and I'll make a part 2. Goodbye.